Well, if you don't mind, shake somebody's hand and say today, say, why do fools fall in love? Why do fools fall in love? Amen. You may be seated in the presence of the Lord. There was a movie most of you might know called Why Do Fools Fall in Love? There was a Frankie Lyman. There was a biopic starring Lorenz Tate, Halle Berry, and Vivica Fox. And Frankie was a bad young brother. He sung doo-wop and rock and roll. He did his thing. He made his record company a lot of money, made some money for himself as well. He did his thing. But Frankie ended up marrying 3 different women. Praise God. At the same time. Frankie was a busy brother, wasn't he? He married 3 different women at the same time. And after he had passed away, they ended up fighting over his estate. But he had a hit song with the teenager that was titled, Why Do Fools Fall in Love? Not only was it the proper name for the movie, but also I think it is for the women as well. Because how do you marry 3 women and nobody know about it? But they knew about each other. That's crazy. So as I scan the room, I believe and take inventory in my own life, I believe we all have played the fool at some point in a relationship. Yeah. We thought we had puppy love and figured out we got full-grown pit bull problems, praise God. We thought it was puppy love. Now the German Shepherd grown up crazy. It's crazy. There's all kind of stuff going on. So we've been building week by week about love and loving God and loving myself, loving my spouse, loving as I'm courting and loving all these things. And if I decide to get married, building a healthy marriage and a affair-free marriage, all these things, the central theme has been love. And if I plan on being married to someone, I have to love them. But I want to make sure I'm loving them and I'm not a fool. And if I'm dating and courting, I'm certainly not a fool or being played for the fool. Amen. So we're going to decide what helps me from becoming a fool. We must figure out this. What drives your love? What drives your love? Is it attraction that drives your love? Because attraction is a big part of it, amen? And you know, I've said this several times in several weeks, that if you're going to get someone, make sure you're attracted to them. I can't stress that enough. We all have a particular flavor, a particular size, a shape, or complexion, or whatever you like. It's what you like, and never feel superficial because you like what you like. We all different. If you like that, you like that. Some people are Neapolitans. They just ain't got no flavor. They just like whatever. They like it all, amen. And you see a brother, you see his wife, and you look at the last 2 exes, you be like, how he end up with her? She look nothing like them, amen. That's his thing. He ain't got no particular type. He like them all. Strawberry, chocolate, vanilla. Don't matter. So some people just are like that, and that's cool. It's a blessing because we all different, amen. We all different, I love that, but we learned last week that attraction can be fatal. Either if you're single or married, both of them can be fatal. So check this out. We can become so physically attracted to someone that we make excuses for their character or behavior. Amen. Yeah. We make excuses for their character or behavior. They so fine, so you just neglect the fact that they keep lying to you. Because they're just so fine. They fine, so I'm going to let him get away with this lie because he's fine. I know he lying to me, but it's okay. It's okay. She bad, but her crib nasty. They just go out. I don't know if she take care of the kid. The 3-year-old just cussed me out. I don't even know if she take care of the kid. The 3-year-old, he cussed me out. But bro had to see her though. And don't let us throw sex in the equation, then it's all messed up. Once we're attracted and then we get second to the equation, we turn it to baby face real quick. Whatever you want, whatever you need, it's all right with me, baby. Why? Because you got that whip appeal working on me. Praise God, amen. Once we throw sex into the equation, the whip appeal, we are all jacked up. Our mind is messed up because we're so attracted to this person. And now the sex is good. Now we just scattered all over the place. But if you get the right one and do it the right way and do it God's way, the whip appeal is everything. Praise God. Hey, Lady Thomas got that whip appeal on me. Praise God, amen. She get all my check. I just here, baby, take my check. You can just have all my check. I don't even care. Just take it, hand it over to you, amen. Praise God. So the whip appeal, aka being sprung, is good when you're with the right person. But if you're with the wrong person, gonna have you looking like a fool. See, nobody is perfect, but you have to have some standards and expectations when it comes to a relationship. It can't be, I just want to be happy. That ain't gonna work. It can't be, I just want a man. No. Why it can't? Because some of you are single mothers and you have daughters and your job is to protect our children. Amen. Listen to me because it's about to get deeper here for a second. Because we must understand that sometimes it ain't good just to want a man because sometimes you might think he wants you, but he might want your daughter. it's about to get real for a minute. I check out these stats. Children who live with a single parent that have a living partner are at higher risk to sexual abuse. They have a higher risk than foster kids who don't have either parents. They are 20 times more likely to become victims of sexual abuse than children living with both biological parents. My single parents, I know you want to be in love and you deserve it. I know you want to be in a relationship and you deserve all that, but your first priority is to protect them babies. Yeah, you got to protect your sons too, because guess what? Boys are being sexually abused at alarming rates now as well, and they are more likely not to tell, because if it happens to by a male, they don't want to be called gay. You got to protect your children. We have to weed out the imposters. How many times have we seen on the news a child that was beaten or killed by the mother's boyfriend? Yeah. It's crazy. People allow their children to get abused because they think they love someone. If we understand what the Bible is, and that God is love, and love is kind, love is patient, and love is all these things, love is sacrificing, if we understood what it is, we would know that's not a love. It had to be some signs before that child got hurt. See, love is so good that even if it scolds you, it's only to mold you into what God has called you to be. So even if I scold you by love, it's because I'm helping pushing you to your destiny. It's never to hurt you. See? You got to make sure you understand what love is so you don't become a fool. You can't want to be alone so bad that we throw our children anywhere. Yeah. Another alarming stat that I looked up, 40% of children who are sexually abused are by older or more powerful children. We got to take care of our kids. We can't want to be alone with the opposite sex so bad that we send them anywhere. True story, when we had moved to Pike Township, I ended up meeting my best friends there. We in 4th grade, and I wanted to spend out over their house, and they wanted to spend out of my house. My mom was like, that ain't gonna work, son. Why not? This is my boy. We cool. I don't know them. So what did we do? We all went to dinner at Cheddar's back when he was over there behind Lafayette Square. We sat down, went to Cheddar's. She met their mama. My mama met them. We sat there and talked and had dinner before I was even able to spend out over their house. Why? Because you don't know people. It is your primary focus to protect your children. And now these are my best friends for over 30 years. But to that point, mom had to make sure everything was cool. Don't let your kids make all the plans. These kids be on anything nowadays. I got a teenager, praise God, and that's the way I'm going here, there, over here. Where the parent at? We talk to parents over here, man. I don't work through kids. That's one of our famous lines. We don't deal through kids. Let me talk to that parent. Let me make sure it's cool. You're supposed to be where you at. Because if I come looking for you and you ain't where you're supposed to be at, you might be dead where I catch you. Praise God. Amen. So you got to make sure, don't just work through the kids. Talk to the parents. But we got to be careful. Because our children, I'm telling you, I'm loving this because I'm passionate. I love all of y'all. But guess what? I love the beautiful babies in children's church too. And I don't want to see nothing happen to them in no way, shape, form, because the devil is conniving. The devil is ruthless and he don't care. And he will hurt your children if he can. He don't play fair. So we got to make sure that we put our children in a position to be helped, because we don't want to put them on a back burner for the sake of us wanting to need love. Praise God. Amen. Roll with me. So as we go back to the text in Judges 14, we see the text. As I read to you earlier, how Samson went down to Timnah to find this woman. He went down and saw a woman in Timnah. And I don't know everything about Timnah, but this is what I do know. What the Bible tells me is these are the people that have beef with God. Samson, he goes to a place and sees this sister, and I guess she got to be fine, because he went back home and told moms and pops, look here, I seen this chick. I seen her. I want her as a wife. No matter what. But it trips me out because she doesn't honor God, doesn't hang with God's people, but he is an Israelite, a Nazarite, knows God, but doesn't want a woman that knows God. He wants a woman, and it messed me up because it tripped me out. The place that you picked your wife might be the reason you in the mess you in there. Man, maybe where you picked her at is the reason you're having a problem now. That she didn't honor his God, didn't serve the same God, didn't have the same value system, but he wanted her so bad. And now he in a mess. He went down to Timnah. If you go down to low down places, don't be surprised you end up with low down people. Yeah, grandmama say like this, you lay down with dogs, you get up with fleas, praise God. Be careful. He knows nothing about her except being attracted to her. And he want her to be his wife because she pleased him well. Let's look at mom and dad's response. And his father and mother say to him, is there no woman among the daughters of your brethren, or among all my people, that you must go get a wife from an uncircumcised Philistine? And Samson said to his father, get her for me, for she pleases me well. Wow. That's why it's important having people that know God in your life. Wisdom comes from God. We learned this in the beginning that by bowing down to God is how I get wisdom, how I receive knowledge, by humbling myself and submitting myself before God. If Samson would have just listened to his parents, his story would have ended different. Yeah. Lady Thomas and I are here to help you. We just a phone call or a text away. Talk to somebody before you make a big decision. Talk to somebody. Pray and talk. Because check this out. Proverbs 11 and 14 says this. Where there is no counsel, the people fall. But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. People that know God and love God are here to give you godly counsel. Why? To help keep you safe. Because check this out. Allowing people with godly wisdom look at your situation and apply the Bible to it will keep you safe. Everyone needs people in their life, listen to me, that would tell them, that when they tell them something, would not automatically agree with you just because I love you. Yeah, did y'all hear that? Everybody needs somebody in their life that when they tell them something, you won't just agree with me because you love me. No, that can hurt me more than it can help me. If I'm wrong, I need you to tell me I'm wrong. And if it don't sound right, you need to tell me it don't sound right. Because if you agree with me and I go out on this limb, now I'm stuck. Well, you should do that anyway. You see the situation like I see it. What? No. You need people in your life. So his father and mother honor his request. They go ahead and say, hey, you know what? This is what he want. I'm going to get the bride. I can't deal with everything today. It's only 3 chapters in the book of Judges, 14, 15, and 16. Please read this in your spare time. But just to bring you up to speed, he has a secret. He makes a riddle, and he has a secret, and she tells her people his secret. She ain't supposed to, this is his wife. She ain't supposed to tell nobody his secret. She tells people his secret. So now all kind of stuff get up. She embarrasses him. She makes him lose a lot of money. He's mad and upset. Don't want nothing to do with her. He's mad about everything. And so her father-in-law is mad. So he says, her father's mad. He says, no, now you going to go marry his best man. This was the wife he chose. Messed up everything. He said, yes, she was fine. I know she's fine. But he didn't say, let me do my homework. Yeah. Let me see if we are even compatible before I push this thing any further. She can be fine as the day is long, but if she's constantly disrespecting me and her mouth is tearing me up with her tongue, will I love her when I feel like I can't deal with her? Will I still want to be with her when I feel she's disrespectful and tearing me down as a man, making me feel less than a man? He didn't check in none of that. So the next thing, the first thing was attraction. So the next thing, so you are not a fool in love, you must make sure you are equally yoked. Say equally yoked. Remember, she was a daughter of the Philistines. The Philistines were 7 groups of 7 people that God said, don't marry them. And it wasn't because God didn't like them, it wasn't because of color or race or nothing like that. It's because they worshiped idols. And God didn't want his people involved in idol worship. So God knows something that when people are serving different gods, it will affect your relationship. Amen. Let's look at this. 2 Corinthians 6 and 14 says this. Do not be unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship has righteousness with lawlessness? And what communion has light with darkness? And what accord has Christ with Baal? Or what part has the believer with an unbeliever? Look at what Paul wrote to the church. This is what God is trying to help us with, that we cannot be together with unbelievers. So what is he saying? Is he saying we should be mean to them? Should we be disrespectful? Nah, none of that. God wants us to love all people. Matter of fact, our love is what's going to draw them in. He wants us to love them, but there's certain things, once you come to this side, it's certain things I can't do. I know I love you, my man, be my man forever, but I have no business going to Limelight with you. I have no business going there, going to Club Rebel with you. I did my thing. I went to the Lotus. I went to the industry. I had a time where I was out clubbing and doing all that. But now I'm with Christ, so I can't be there with you. It was a time when it was cool to go to the Sunset, Pure Passion, and all that, and we hung out and did that. But right now, I'm trying to show you that there's a difference in my life. So what communion does light have with dark? If you want to come hang, you got to come roll with me, player. Because I've been delivered from that, amen. I've been redeemed from that. So there's no reason for me to be in there. But we be in unequally yoked relationships, and this is what it looks like. So if you don't know what the yoke is the thing that keeps the animals' necks together. That's the yoke. See the yokes. So you see a camel who is this high, and a water buffalo is all the way down there, and he's trying to plow the ground. How do you think that plow is going to go? How far you think he's going to get trying to plow with two animals on two different levels that move at two different speeds, that are on two different things, two different diets? How do you think how far they're going to go? So why do we think our relationship going to go somewhere when you got two different people on two different levels, on two different speeds, on two different appetites, two different things? No, no, no. The reason our relationships don't get where they need to be because we unequally yoked. If I'm going to officiate your wedding and we're going to go through the counseling process and all of that, if one person is an unbeliever, it's going to come up. Praise God. Why? Because I love you and I'm going to give you the counsel of God. If one person believes and one person don't, one person pray and one person don't, that's important to me. Because it's going to develop and depend on how your relationship is going to work. Now check this out. Now the saved husband or wife can lead the unsaved to salvation. It's there in the Bible. It's your character, your conduct can lead them to salvation. And I dealt with couples who thinking, you know what, we can get married. It don't matter if we don't believe in the same God. It doesn't matter that. But it does. Why? Because y'all going to have different value systems. Yeah. What happens when one person believes I should tithe and the other person say, don't give that church none of my money? What happens? What happened? What happens when one person says, you know what, let them learn about LGBTQ and all that, and all that's fine, and let them be free and pick their choice, and the other person says, no. God has designed male and female. And I believe he did it. The way he did it is correct and natural. What happens? What happens when we have different value systems? Because the Christian, the Bible governs us, amen, and it tells us what to do. If the other person doesn't believe that, there will be conflict in your household. Doesn't mean it can't work, but you better be prepared to fight the battle on your knees, not with just your mouth and your attitude, because that ain't gonna get them nowhere. Why? Because that's not love. I give you a quick synopsis of chapter 15 and all the issues that Samson went through with his ex-wife. You know, she ended up leaving and hooking up with his best man, which is crazy. So he's mad. He tears up the city, kills all kind of people with a jawbone of a donkey. I believe it was 1,000 men. Samson doing this thing, but God really used Samson even in the midst of that foolishness. God said, I'm going to use you to defeat the Philistines. So he goes through all that. But the last verse says in that he was a judge in Israel for 20 years. In chapter 15, he was a judge in Israel for 20 years. He's in a leadership position. I love this because he made a mistake and tried to marry the wrong woman, but God, grace and mercy, still gave him time to get it right. 20 years went past and he's in a leadership position. I love that God's been working with him and dealing with him, giving him 20 years that you made that mistake. Now, I don't know about you, but I made a lot of mistakes, praise God. And I thank God that now I'm in a leadership position, that he has given me grace and time to work out my own salvation with fear and trembling. So you should be grateful. You might not be where you want to be, but thank God you're not where you used to be. And as I'm moving and proving and striving to be better and striving, God has been giving me some grace. I love that because Samson messed up and did all kind of foolishness, but it says he would judge Israel for 20 years, which means God still had a plan and purpose for his life. So God had dealt with him for 20 years. Look at this though. In chapter 16, look at the first verse. Right after the 20 years, it says this. Now Samson went to Gaza and saw a harlot there, and he went into her. Praise God. Amen. Wow. When the Gazites were told Samson had come here, they surrounded the place and lay in wait for him all night at the gate of the city. They were quiet all night, saying, in the morning, when it's daylight, we would kill him. Praise God. We all been a little hard-headed in here, amen? Yeah, we all have bumped our head and did something we said we wasn't going to do no more. Amen. We told the Lord in 2019 we wasn't going to do it no more. We found ourselves repenting for it in 2019 after we said we wasn't going to do it no more. We've all bumped our heads at some point. So what he's showing that God has been showing grace. Being a parent, I think, helps shows you how to have grace. Yeah, because God had to check me, because sometimes my kids would make me mad as fire, and I get so upset at them and mad, I be ready like, what is wrong with y'all? And God said, hold up, you don't do everything I tell you to do the first time either. When I say it, you don't move like that either. So maybe if you want them to move like that, maybe you should move like that. Don't jump on their back. I get it. You trying to correct them and discipline. That's cool. That's what you're supposed to do. But just think about it for a minute. I give you grace too, Pastor George. So we must understand that we got to correct, but do it in love. So I don't want us never to miss the grace, because sometimes we look at the Bible and it's like, dang, God let this happen and God let that. Nah, he gave him 20 years to start getting stuff together. But verse 16 says that he came and went into a harlot when he got to Gaza. Check this out. We must understand that the devil, his main focus is what? To snare us and entangle us with lust. Why? So we can't leave it alone. Yeah. He wants us to get in strongholds, vis-a-vis Jonathan McReynolds, cycles. He wants to put us in cycles. He wants us to keep making the same mistake over and over again to the point that we feel we can't get delivered from it. We can't move out of it. We keep making the same mistake over and over and over. I know it's wrong to sleep with this person or this married man, but it felt so good. I keep making the same mistake over and over. I know it's wrong to mess with this girl. She got a dude, but she tell me she love me and want to be with me, and I got the same feeling with her, the same mistake over and over again. And then we look up and 20 years like Samson has passed, and we still making the same mistakes. So we got to understand is that no matter what the mistake is, we got to be careful what happens, because making the same mistake over and over again eventually catches up with us. Yeah. After 20 years, he's still chasing hoes. Praise God. Yeah. That's what a harlot is, in case y'all didn't know. A harlot is a hoe. After 20 years, God had worked with him and tried to deliver him. Samson's still chasing hoes. What's going on? Down in Timnah, he's searching for women in low-down places at the beginning, and now he's in Gaza looking for another low-down woman. Samson has a problem. He's still chasing after them, and Pastor has to keep it real for you. Why? Because I don't want my brothers in here that have been here. You look up 20 years later, and you had a good woman, and you lost her, and you think about the woman you had in a relationship that should have been, and the marriage you should have had, and you lost it all because you was chasing hoes. You got to be careful, because it can cost you being guided with your loins instead of your logic. It can cost you thinking with the wrong head. You got to be careful, my brothers. Because 20 years had went past, and Samson's still doing the same thing. He saw a harlot, and went into her. And check this out, y'all. Trust me out. The harlot was in his enemy's territory. He had no business being there. You judging Israel, why are you in Gaza? And they sat there and said, we're going to sit here and wait till he come out to the morning, and we're going to kill him, amen. But somebody ought to give God some praise, because the story don't end there. So whatever they had planned, it didn't work, praise God, amen. That sometimes the enemy tries to kill you and has a plan for you, but it won't work, praise God. The enemy said, we're going to kill Samson in the morning. We outside the room. We got the girl to hook him up. But God said, no, you can't have him yet. God's still showing some grace. Don't never miss God's grace in the Bible. God is grace. He's loving. He's kind. He just be waiting on us to get it right. So they came and they tried to destroy him. But it was God's hands being put on him that couldn't have him. I love that, because I can just picture God saying to the devil, yeah, I know he a mess, but you can't have him. I know she a trip, but you can't have him. I know they ain't got it all together. I know they still mess up from time to time. But guess what? You can't have it. My hand is on you. Jesus said, whoever's in my hand, no man can pluck you out. Amen. We are unpluckable by the words of Christ. So when his hand is on my life, don't take that advantage of that and think we can sin and just continue to get away with it. Because just because judgment hasn't came, don't mean it won't come. When God has given us chance after chance to get it right, amen. So we see Samson, my brother, 20 years, he goes to the harlot and garlic. And look at verse 4, check this out. Afterwards, it happened that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. So the last thing that leaves us as fools in our relationship life is what? Reciprocating past mistakes. Yeah, we keep reciprocating past mistakes. Since Samson and Delilah is such a well-known biblical story, it's easy to think it's about a strong man who caught up with the wrong woman. He's got tricked by the wrong woman. No, if you read 14 and 15, and then you get to 16, you see a pattern in his life. He had a weakness for weak women. He kept going after a certain type of woman, tying to low down places. Gaza, he went to see a harlot. Now he's in Sorek, another place where the Philistine hang. He got to keep hanging in the wrong places. And you wonder why you keep hanging up with the wrong women. Samson just wanted a hot girl. That's all he wanted. He had to have one. He had to have a hot girl. He just wanted all he wanted, amen. He wanted them Israelite women. They worship God. I ain't got time for that. They pray too much. They worshiping God. They loving God. That's cool now, but nah, I want her right there. I want the hot girl. That's what I got my eyes set on. And it trips me out. Brother Samson gets this girl, and he's totally oblivious to the fact that she's been talking to his enemies. Yeah, he don't know what Delilah's been up to, because soon as they see her, she had to be pretty, and they say, look here, check this out, sister girl. We need to get him. I'm going to give you 1,100 pieces of silver if you find out where his strength lies. Make no mistakes. Listen good. When we end up like fools in love, those relationships become strongholds to us, y'all. I don't got time to go verse by verse, but listen, they offered up 1,100 pieces of silver, and immediately Delilah hops on it. She don't wait 1 second. She goes directly, I got to get this brother. He coming to my house. I got to figure out where his strength lies because I need this money. So the relationship, check this out. The relationship you want so bad and ready to thank God for, what if they were sent by the enemy? Yeah. Samson loved this woman. He loves her. But God didn't send her. His enemy sent her. Think about that. Maybe God is saying, don't get mad at me at the person you get when you don't invite me into the person you pick. Won't get mad at me when relationship is jacked up and ain't got no good in it when you didn't even bring me into it. Because see, you wanted the devil in the blue dress. And if you listen to me, I would have told you that was the devil in the blue dress. But you didn't include me in your pick, so now you want the devil in the blue dress. No, include me in your pick so I can give you some discernment. So I can see. Nah, this probably ain't gonna work for me. 3 different occasions. This is what I mean by strongholds. She asked him to tell her where his strength comes from 3 different times. Now, I'm sorry. If this is something where I know is detrimental to me, and if I don't have it, it's gonna harm me. I just met you, and the only thing you want to know is where my strength lies. It's like me having a large bank account, and I got it, and I just met you, and all you keep asking me, what's the password to my daggone credit card? What? I just met you, sis. Why do you want to know my password? Why do you want to know my passcode? We ain't cool like that. I ain't married you. But she asked him, and he's so oblivious to what she's doing because she got that money in her mind, so she's doing whatever she got to do to get this money, making him feel good, that he don't even care that she's trying to get his strength. 3 different times she says, hey, where does your strength come from? And what trips me out is that every time he tells her a lie, he playing with her, he's telling her a lie, but every time it happens, she says, Samson, get up, the Philistines have come. They come into the room, he beat them up. So not only did you ask me for my information, but every time you ask me, I wake up enemies in our bedroom. Praise God. Ooh. Each time you ask me for my information, somebody trying to kill me. But he's so in love with her, he can't even see it. Sometimes we get so in love, somebody can literally sit there to kill your spirit, kill your emotional, kill your peace, and you can't even see it because you're so attached to a feeling. Don't become no fool. He didn't find it strange that some woman that got that whip appeal, she's so blatantly trying to hurt me. She's blatantly trying to deceive me, and she's doing it right in front of my face. But it's so good to me. But she know how to work it. She take me to that place. That it don't matter if she's trying to hurt me, I'm a fool in love. Then she hit Samson with this. After the 3 times didn't work, she said, look here, Samson, you must really don't love me. Red flag number 1, praise God. When anybody hits you with you don't really love me, they are a master deceiver. Praise God. Master manipulator. Because loving you ain't just about me giving something to you. Loving me is about you doing something for me. So do you really love me is the question. Not do I really love you? Because I'm here with you. I'm laid in your bed. Samson thinking he really love her. But no, she keep asking him for information. So be careful when he hits you with that baby, if you love me, you would do it. If you love me, you would do it. Not if it corrupts my character, hurts my morals, doesn't make me feel right in my spirit. That's not about love. You're trying to manipulate me. So we got to be careful. Then the Bible says this, because sister girl, women know how to work it. The Bible says this, that she nagged him day in out, day in and day out. Verse 16 says she pressed him so much that it vexed his soul to the point of death. Wow. She said, I'm going to get this 1100. I don't care what you say or what you do. She continually asked him day in and day out, where your strength come from? Where your strength come? Why you lied to me? Said, thought you loved me. Where your strength from? Where your strength come from? And it trips me out because at some point, if you're making me feel like my soul is vexed to death, I need to cut you off. If you're making me feel that bad and that depressed and that down and out, why am I keeping you around? Because that whip appeal? Trying to help y'all out. Whatever you want, whatever you need, it's all right with me, baby. Keep on working on me. You just keep on. That whip appeal is a trick because we get caught up physically so much. And when the feeling is so good, it messes up your mind and you get addicted to it like it's a drug. And no matter if she's vexing his soul, he's still keeping her around. So he finally, after a while, she just keeps on asking Brother Samson. Finally just gives in. He told her something that only God and his parents knew. Now, if I have something that only God and my parents knew, that means it's valuable. That means it's very, very important. And he told her something. Mind you, she's not even his wife. He never married Delilah. He went to bed with Delilah. He never married her. But he gives her something that only God and his parents knew. She has tried to deceive him multiple times, keep asking where his strength lies, has had enemies come into their bedroom to try to hurt them. How did she ever earn his trust? I just didn't see that. What did she do to even earn that level of trust? See, I got to get on y'all because I know how it goes. Sometimes you get a new boyfriend and then 90 days later y'all living together. What? How do you earn this level of trust? You got kids. Do you really know him like that? Do you really know that you know him when he has agendas, his motives? How y'all already living together? You just met, bro. And then 6 months later, he gone. What happened? Quit giving your trust away to people that don't deserve it. You got to protect your heart. Half the time we end up as fools because we give our heart to people that mean us no good. And all they did is to trick and deceive and get what they want out of the situation. So you must understand that it's your heart that can get you caught up. Samson is the poster child for giving his heart away to the wrong women. It was his addiction and attraction to these particular women that led him to Delilah. See, when we hear the story, we think that, Samson just found Delilah on the road. He just found her in the valley of Sorek. No. His problems with dealing with weak women led him to Delilah. See, if we keep pursuing it and reciprocating the same mistakes, the devil say, okay, I got a cake bake for you. I see what you like. I see what you like. Even that Song of Cycles, what does Jonathan Marino say is that the devil learns from your mistakes even if you don't. Ooh, that's nasty. That's cold blooded, ain't it? The devil learns from your mistakes even if you don't. So you keep on messing around with this thing, keep on tempting and keep on walking into it. The devil said, okay, I got a cake baked for you in the form of Delilah. I'm gonna make sure you meet her at the right time. So when it's time to make a decision, you can't make the right one. So be careful, not get into cycles and strongholds. So he finally told her his secret, y'all. He said, look here, I'm a Nazarite. I've been dedicated to God since birth. No razor has ever came upon my head. If you cut off my hair, I'll be as weak as any other man. He finally told her his truth. And because women know, she knew that was the truth. She seen it in his eyes. She felt in his heart, he didn't tell me the truth. Cool. Got on the phone. Hey, I know where he gonna be. I know what to do. Where y'all gonna be at? I got it set up there. I got him. She on the phone calling up the Philistines. I need y'all to come through tonight. It's going down. He told me the truth. Had my money ready. I wanted all hundreds. Right now. I need my money. I got it. I figured it out. So look at this. Look at this. Verse 19 says this. Then she lured him to sleep on her knees and called for a man and had him shave off the 7 locks off his head. And she began to torment him, and his strength left him. Ooh. Then she lured him to sleep on her knees. What I tell you last week, that her mouth dripped honey. Yeah. Her mouth dripped honey. The Bible says, man, at the lips of an immoral woman, her mouth dripped honey. She lured him to sleep on her knees and called for a man. She put it on him so bad, he didn't know another man came in the room. How do you don't feel somebody shaking your head and you got dreads? 7 locks? You don't feel none of that? That whip appeal. She put it on him so tough that he knocked out and shaved his head. But see, that wasn't enough for us. See, once you get with the wrong person and they don't really got your best interest at heart, you see where their heart really lies. Then she began to torment him. Yeah, I don't know what she did. The Bible doesn't tell us, but I don't know, maybe she began to stab him or poke him, and she seen maybe his skin was tough as iron, but when she began to stab him now, it kind of hurt him. Maybe he bled a little bit. I don't know exactly what she did. The Bible doesn't tell me, but it says she tormented him. Be careful who you hook up with, because they might be there just to torment you. You give your heart, your love, your trust, your secrets, but their job is to torment you. And his strength left him, praise God. His strength left him, y'all. Samson was stronger than any man, I believe, in the Bible that's ever talked about it. But at that moment, his strength was gone because he gave his heart to the wrong woman. Giving your heart to the wrong woman can leave you weak, my brothers. Giving your heart to the wrong woman can destroy you. So we got to be careful in who we pick. Look at verse 20. And then she said, the Philistines are upon you, Samson. So he woke up from his sleep and said, I will go out as before, at other times shake myself free. But he did not know the Lord had departed from him. Wow. He got so caught up with this woman that all his strength, all his anointing that God gave him, everything God had blessed him with and made him a judge over Israel, everything, 20 years worth of work, he's thrown down the drain because he was dealing with the wrong woman. Everything he had built up, everything God had blessed him with. And it's crazy because when we in a cycle, we can't even see that we messed up. Because she had did it 3 times before, and he jumped up and killed all the men, beat them up. It said he woke up and said, I will go out as before, as other times, shake myself free. And he did that, but he didn't know God wasn't with him. Be careful. The devil wants to get your mind so warped up and so much in a cycle, you don't even know that God ain't even with you right now. You caught up so much and entangled in our sins and in this cycle that God waiting there to pull you back. But we got to be careful we don't get into a reprobate mind. And Lady Thomas said, making sure we repent. We got to repent for our sins. If I'm not willing to repent, that means the enemy got a hold of me. Amen. I got to be able to say, God, I got to confess my sins. If I don't confess, he can't cover it. Praise God. Amen. If I don't confess it, that means God can't cover it. So I got to go to him for it. And Samson, who was the man of God, who had the strength and all these things, he was sleeping around with all these women. And God was giving him grace and time to fix it. Plenty of time to fix it. But this time, the Lord departed from him. And he did not know it. My God. Look at 21 and we almost done. Then the Philistines took him and put out his eyes and brought him down to Gaza. They bound him with bronze fetters and he became a grinder in prison. So check this out. They say, you know what? We can't lose to this brother no more. We got to make sure he can't defeat us no more. So what should we do? They gouged out my brother's eyes. He was blind now. A man who God had gave vision to because he was the judge of Israel. A man that God had strength. He had all these things, but now he's blind and can't see. He a grinder in the prison. And verse 22 says, however, the hair on his head began to grow again after he had been shaved. Like, bitch, they shout. Dang. I'm going to read it again for him one time. They missed the shout. He got his eyes put out. He in prison. He messed up. Ain't nobody visiting him. Lila got her money. She gone. But verse 22 says, however, the hair on his head began to grow again after it had been shaven. Oh my God. Don't you realize that when you mess up and jacked up, and it seems like the enemy got you and he got a hold on you. God can throw it however in your situation. However, the hair on his head began to grow again. I don't know how long it takes, but I come to tell you, however you've been messed up, however long it's been, God will let the hair on your head begin to grow again. You will get your strength back, your peace back, your joy back, your love back, whatever you've been missing. As long as you get somewhere and get with God and tell the enemy, gone, get with the Lord, your hair will be able to go again. I thank God because it was shaving, y'all, but his hair began to grow again. He messed up with all these women, but his hair began to grow again. God wants to begin to help you to grow again. But check this out, what he did, verse 28. Before that, he called to him out. He said, look, somebody put me where all the pillars are. All the Philistines were looking at him. They said, bring Samson out so we can make fun of him. Bring Samson out so we can mock him, because he destroyed us for years. Now he's blind and can't see. Bring him out. So Samson says, hey, look, young man, put me in between the two pillars where everybody's sitting. He can't see. So somebody walks him over to the pillar where he can't see. Before his enemies was using him, now God let him use his enemies. Praise God, y'all missed it, amen. Before his enemies was using him and digging him out, talking bad about him, setting him up, now he says, come here. Come, I can't see, but I got faith. Y'all missed it. I can't see, but I got faith. Come and take me to where the two pillars stand, because I need to be where the pillars stand, because my hair's gone. I got dreads again. I was bald. I got dreads again. I believe God might do something in my life. Take me to the pillar so I can get right there in between where the enemy's at. So he says, put me between the pillars. And he says, Samson, push. And all the pillars came down. Everything came down. Samson pushed it. And mind you, Samson had killed thousands of enemies before. The Bible says he killed more enemies when he messed up than he did in the beginning of his life. God will help you to destroy more enemies after you messed up than you did before you had it right. Praise God. God wants to help you to grow again, to move and press the enemies out the way. But it happened, why? Because Samson said, forgive me, O Lord. Don't miss that. It happened because Samson said, forgive me, O Lord. It says Samson called to the Lord and said, oh Lord God, remember me, I pray. Samson, strengthen me, O God. I pray just once that I can take this one blow and get vengeance over all my enemies. Remember me, O God, I pray. Forgive me, O God, I pray. Once you ask God to forgive you, ask God to help you, ask God to cleanse you, ask God to work on you, he will help you get the victory your heart's desire. But you gotta come to him, praise God. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Ain't God good? Ain't God God? Ain't he merciful? Give God some praise in this place for your victory that's coming, for your strength that's coming. I know you've been weak, but your strength is coming back. Your hair is growing again. Give God praise for it right now. Thank you, oh Lord. Thank you, oh Lord, for strength, oh God. Woo, we give you glory in this place, oh God. We give you glory in this place, oh God. Thank you, Jesus. We have all played a fool in some part in our life, oh God. The enemy has tricked us and put us in a cycle that we hated, oh God. But we thank you that you said we can say, oh God, remember me. You can say, God, forgive me. And he says that we confess our sins. He is faithful and just to cleanse us of all unrighteousness. Yeah, he's faithful and just to cleanse us of all, not some. See, Jesus' death on the cross, he either paid for it all or it didn't. And he said, cleanse us from all unrighteousness. So I don't know who you are today. I don't know what's going on in your life. But if you know you need God and need God to begin to help you get to where you need to be, make a decision for Christ today. God is still God. He's still King. And he knows when you messed up. He knows